and we'll dive in. All right, guys. So I'm going to have a presentation as we're going through this tonight. So if you guys are on desktop, this should show up naturally for you. But if you are on mobile, Isaiah's hopping in with us. Welcome, Isaiah. Marcus is on, Dana, Case, Caleb. So we're going to dive in here, guys. I'm going to have the screen share going, so make sure you can see this. If you guys can see this, go ahead and drop a hit a thumbs up on your little Zoom thing, or just drop a got it in the chat so we make sure we have everybody in here. Cool, JD. Giving me a thumbs up. Cool. All right. So this is the oh, no, we lost it. All right. Cool. We're live. So guys, for tonight, 10K month masterclass is what we're going to be covering. So if you're here, it's because you want to get to 6 figures, you want to get to 10K a month and beyond. And what I hope you guys get from this masterclass tonight is clarity on what you're missing to actually hit that mark for the first time, 10K a month and beyond. But also get some inspiration, some excitement, and some belief for what actually is necessary for you to make this happen. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. If you guys are ready, go ahead and drop a hell yes in the chat. Drop a thumbs up. We got Deanna hopping in as well. So we'll go ahead and get this rolling. So cool. First off, we got some other stuff going on here. First off, before we get started here, guys, who this is not for. This is not for people who want to just get rich quick, right? So if that's you, please just exit out of this or stop the recording because this is not a get rich quick thing. This is not for people who don't care about ethics. So if you're not someone who's serious about ethics and really wants to take things to the next level doing it ethically, then this is not for you either. Who this is for humble and hungry people who want to get to that 10K a month and do it in a legitimate way. So if you're hungry, if you're serious and ready to learn, level up, and crush it in 2025, then this is going to be for you. Stay tuned and listen up. Income's disclaimer, just like any business, there's no guarantee of income. Individual results may vary. There's a legal jargon for you guys. Cool. So before we dive in, I just want to share with you guys my story. If you aren't familiar, my name's Sam Martin. I started this company back in 2018 because I was, my story was growing up, doing different jobs, just frustrated with the options, right? Didn't want to go to college. There was no way for me to actually start the business that I wanted to and make the money that I wanted to. So I was really just stuck and frustrated, trying different jobs, trying different little business startups that all failed until I was able to find my way into sales and really unlocked multiple 6-figure income for myself, which was amazing. Unlocked so much freedom that I never thought was possible. And it was really just an incredible breakthrough for me. And that's why I'm so passionate about what we do now. Started coaching in 2018. And now basically what we do, we help people go from working harder to working smarter, going from overwhelmed to total clarity, from the stuck cycle to massive growth, and from money slave to money freedom. So that's really what we focus on. I want to share some stories, specifically a few past clients that have gone through this process. Because one of the most important things, we're going to cover this in the lesson tonight. Let me get this chair out of the way here. One of the most important things we're going to cover is the belief. Because if you don't believe what's possible for you to achieve, you're never going to make it happen. That's why we have to start from that point. So this is Jeremy, one of our past clients, ended up generating over $1 million in revenue for his company and hitting the presidential club there, which was awesome. I was really excited to see him hit that, and he had some really awesome things to say about us, which was awesome. This is Fernando, who started with us. He was doing roofing, he was doing construction stuff, which is a really unsafe working environment while going through college, and he actually exceeded my record and ended up doing $415,000 a year, which was epic. And this is Nina. Nina quit her corporate job, moved to Bali, controlled her own schedule. And this is her kind of checking in a year later after doing the program, year and a half later. And it was just really awesome to see her reflecting back on that growth. So for you guys, what does your story look like for 2025? What is your story going to be? What is Isaiah's story? What is Case's story? Deanna, Jenny, what is your story going to be in 2025? I hope tonight can be a catalytic moment for you, a big transformation in terms of your path and your trajectory. So tonight we're talking about 10K a month remote, and we're talking about this in the context of doing remote sales with our unique sales entrepreneur strategy. Some of you guys have been around, you might know that a little bit already. I want to just start off high level, right? What's the gap, right? What's the gap between where you're at right now, right? On any map, you need to have a starting point and you need to have a finish point. Again, guys, if you're on mobile, if you scroll left to right on your phone, you should be able to see. If you scroll left to right on your phone, you should be able to see these slides and stuff. So any map, where are you at now? And where do you need to get to? We need to take inventory of where you're starting from. What do you have to work with? What skills, what connections, what relationships, what money? And where are you trying to get to, right? Six-figure freedom, but what does that freedom look like to you? Some people, that freedom is different for everybody. Some people, that freedom is being able to stay home with family. Some people, that freedom is being able to travel the world, do cool experiences. Some people, they want to get nice cars and boats and all that stuff. That's totally fine too. Most people, maybe not so much, but whatever you want is fine and we can achieve that. But you can't start until you know where you want to get to. There's a quote that says it's harder to figure out how to get what you want than it is to figure out what you want, right? It's harder to figure out how to get what you want than it is to figure out what you want. You might think it's the opposite. Oh, I know what I want. I want to make more money. I want to do this. I want to do that. It's actually not true. If you don't do the hard work of figuring out what are the deep reasons why and what does that clear picture of that freedom look like that you want to get to, you're never going to make it happen, right? Is this making sense, guys? Throw me a thumbs up or I got it in the chat and we'll keep rolling. So where are you at? Where you want to get to? For most people, this is what it looks like. From where you're at currently to getting to six figures. After working with hundreds of clients, these are the 5 things that typically hold people back. Either they don't have the clarity on what they want or how to get there. They don't have the right mindset. They don't have the right skill set. They don't have the right opportunity, or they don't have the right mentorship and guidance, right? These are the 5 things that hold people back. And you need to take inventory. Where am I lacking, right? Are you lacking the skill set? Are you lacking the opportunity? Maybe you don't have the guidance. If you don't have the right pieces, if you don't have the right tools, it's going to be pretty obvious if you're not getting the results that you want. So I hope this is clicking with you guys, and I hope this kind of like high level picture is starting to help you understand what are the pieces you need to get in place to make this happen. So what's the best and most reliable way to get to 10K a month plus? Let's dive into it. So first off, why the way you get paid matters. Most of you guys, if you're like everybody else, you grew up, you got a job, you get paid a certain amount of dollars per hour, or you get a salary or whatever, right? That's the old way, trading time for money. You work this many hours, you do this many things, this many tasks, you get paid this much money. The problem is it's not structured very well for high performers, for people who want to work hard and people who want to go all in and really take things to the next level. The new way is trading value for money, right? Having a skill set and having the ability to generate value in return for compensation. So this is not tied to your time. If you can do the same task in half the time or get twice as much done in the same amount of time or 3 times as much done, then you in fact can receive 3 times the results, the reward. Does that make sense? Because if you're stuck trading time for money, you're always going to be stuck with this many hours, this much money. Even if you raise your dollar per hour, still the only way to make more money is to work more hours. And that's like the opposite of what you want, right? So this is kind of the math breakdown. I'm not going to go into this a whole lot just because it's pretty simple. But your time for money equation is basically hours times rate equals your income. Value for money is how valuable it is the result that you're producing times the activity that you take. So if you have a way that you can take twice as much activity, or your activity is twice as efficient, it's twice as effective, and you can still produce that value, then you have your income based on that. And the reason that value for money is so powerful is because you have control. You can control how much income you bring in. You have leverage, right? You can use different systems and methods, to generate more. But then you also have incentive, right? For me, when I was doing my regular jobs, I was bored out of my mind, right? And other people used to make fun of me because I was trying to do a good job and I was trying to work hard and I was doing all these things to try and just do the best that I could. And they're like, dude, why are you doing that? Right? There's just no reason to, because the hardest worker and the guy that's sitting around on their butt, or the gal that's sitting around, they get paid the same amount. So there's no incentive to actually do the things that are necessary to make that happen. Cool. So diving into some few kind of bullet points of this sub point of best and most reliable path to 10K a month. So this is actually how, like, some of the things you want to look for when you're wanting to pursue something in this space. So first off is you want to sell for a business that's already established. So many people, and if you guys see all the stuff out there, it's like, oh, start a drop shipping business or e-commerce or, landscaping or plumbing or whatever. What they don't tell you is that there's so much crap that goes into that. You have taxes, you have liabilities, you have, expenses, you have payroll, you have equipment, you have all this stuff, software, merchant processing. The list goes on and on. It's way easier if you can just sell something for a business that's already established, where they have a product that's developed, they have a service that's in place. The business handles all the fulfillment, all the taxes, all the legal stuff. All you have to do is just have conversations with somebody, with their clients, and help bring in more revenue, right? You're working on a team rather than trying to, be a solo lone wolf. Second is you want to sell something that's high ticket, right? So you don't want to sell, I don't know, DVDs. Nobody even uses DVDs anymore. So you wouldn't want to sell DVDs for sure. But you don't want to, even like furniture and stuff is pretty low ticket. You wouldn't want to sell like water bottles, or, even cell phones. Wouldn't recommend it. Anything less than like $2 to $5 grand. It's pretty much the bottom of the barrel of what you want to be selling. Sell something high ticket, because again, if you're selling a package that's 10 grand or 50 grand or 100 grand, you get 10% of that. You don't have to make very many sales to be able to generate a really awesome income for yourself. Third thing, don't reinvent the wheel. So really all you have to do is go find companies that are established, find companies that have something high ticket, and don't reinvent the wheel. Like I said, go where reps are already making the income that you want to make. And then all you're doing is basically just modeling what they're doing, which is the final piece, which is model top reps approach and activity. When I first got into the space, I was like, I saw some of the top reps that were making 400K a year or 300K a year or whatever in that year. And I was like, dang, if that is possible, like if they can do that, I can at least do 100K, right? I can at least do 200K. So that's what you want to start to see, is looking at not what's the average, you want to model the best, right? And then if you can even do half as good as the best, then you'll be in a really, really good spot. Cool. Here's number 3 is the biggest reasons people fail. And the reason I like to cover the downside of it is a lot of times when we go to accomplish something new, we go to accomplish something big, we think about all the new things we have to do, all the new things we have to try and learn and whatever. But a lot of times it's not the new things, it's the old things that you have to stop doing, right? It's not what you have to start doing, it's what you have to stop doing. So first thing is poor beliefs. One of the biggest things that holds people back is they don't know if it's possible, and they don't know if it's possible for them, right? So those are two things. One is it's possible at all, and 2 is it's possible for you, right? If you don't believe that it's possible to make 6 figures, 10K a month and beyond, there's no reason for you to even start or try, right? Because it would be a huge waste of your time, a huge waste of your effort. You might as well play video games, right? But cool, if you know that it's possible, then you have to believe that it's possible for you, right? That you are the type of individual that'll do whatever it takes to actually make it happen. You have to have that belief in yourself. And sometimes when you're starting out, maybe you don't really have that great of a track record of success. Maybe, you haven't done that much, which is fine. But there's always something you can believe in for yourself. And for me, when I was starting out, I didn't really have a reason to say, oh, this is why I'm going to be successful. You almost have to be delusional in your belief of yourself. But here's a big reason why it's super doable is 29 million people in the United States make over 6 figures every year. Yes, correct. That's not a typo. 29 million. So 29 million people every single year are making 6 figures. You have to stop believing that 6 figures is like such a big number and it's so crazy. There's people all over the place that are making this type of income. It's just maybe not familiar to you or your background or your family, which is fine. But if it was, then you wouldn't even have this problem because you'd be at that too, right? Second thing that gets people hung up and that holds people back is they overwhelm. They look at a million different options, but they never pick something. They never pick something because, you know, they're too afraid, right? They're afraid of failure. They're afraid of it not working, or they're just kind of like dabbling. Oh, I'll just try a little bit of everything. In order to be successful, you have to be decisive. You have to take action. You have to go deep on one thing, right? You don't want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. The specialists in life always make the most money. So you want to pick one thing and you want to go all in on it. There's a quote that says action leads to insight more often than insight leads to action. And this is the opposite of what most people do. Most people, they look on YouTube and they scour all around the internet for months and months, and they still do nothing, right? You're going to learn more by picking a lane and going all in, than just kind of perusing, if that makes sense. Another reason people hold themselves back from success is they are stingy, right? One is stingy, like in terms of not being generous to other people. You should give money to church. You should give money to people around you. You should give money to family. You should be extremely generous, but they're also stingy with themselves. They're not willing to invest in themselves, not only effort and time, but also money. Because if you don't think that you're worth investing in, who is going to, right? Who's going to bet on you if you're not willing to bet on you, right? So you have to be willing to put skin in the game. You have to be willing to get the right tools, mentorship, etc. I've personally invested 150,000 plus in my coaching, training, mentorship, etc. And I still do every single year. Every single year, I'm investing thousands of dollars in mentorship because I know how critical it is and I know how important it is. If you want to be the best in the world, you have to learn from people who are ahead of you. Another thing that holds people back is complacency. They don't take responsibility to make their goals happen urgently. And the key word there is urgently. Responsibility and urgently. A lot of times people just think that like they're going to get a break, right? And I'm here to tell you lovingly, because I care about you guys and I want you guys to win, that the break is not coming, right? The conditions will never be perfect for you to achieve success. You just have to decide that you're willing to do it in the rain, right? There's a quote that says success never goes on sale. You have to be willing to pay full price. There's another quote. This was when I was first getting started. I tried a bunch of different things. I got caught up in some MLMs and some network marketing stuff. And so I'm at the, but learned some stuff from that for sure. And I was at the seminar and I can still remember where I was sitting when the speaker delivered this quote, and it's stuck with me to this day. It motivates me when I'm wanting to take it easy. And the quote says, if you can't make yourself do what you know you should do, someone else will tell you what to do all of the days of your life, right? If you can't make yourself do what you know you should do, someone else will tell you what to do all of the days of your life. Is this hitting home with anybody else? Is this wrecking anybody? This is powerful when you start to realize this, because that responsibility is key, taking that and taking action. Cool. How do we actually make this happen? I want to break this down into some more tangible steps for you guys so you guys can implement things and take action in a way that you can go away with something tangible. So like we talked about, what's the gap? You're here. You want to get to six-figure remote freedom. We have to start with those beliefs of it's not that crazy to get to where you want to go. It's super doable. Tons of people have done it. What do you want that dream to look like for you? Get clear on it, right? Don't just put down the money that you want to make. Put down how your life is going to be different when you make that happen. What are you going to do for mom and dad? How are you going to help out the people close to you, right? What trips are you going to go on? What restaurant are you going to celebrate at? When you get clear on that picture, that's when it starts to get achievable, right? Going back to this breakdown, right? Most people are missing one or multiple of these things. So take inventory, like we were talking about. Where are you right now on the map? If you had to put a dot in the map for you, what is it that you're missing, right? Are you missing clarity? Are you missing mindset? Are you missing skill set? Are you missing opportunity? Are you missing mentorship? So I would love for you guys to kind of take inventory of that. And even if you're taking notes on this call or if you're watching the replay, what is it for you? Be honest, like tell the truth. You're not going to move forward. You're not going to achieve the success that you want until you face the honest, hard truth about yourself, right? It sucks. It's sad, but it is the situation. And then also if you're advanced, right? If you're someone who is already in the remote sales space or you're already, making pretty good money, it's not, do you have that's not, do you have them or not? It's how much or how good, right? So it's how strong is your mindset? How good is your skill set? How good is your opportunity? So, see if I get my little drawer out here. The screen share thing was giving me issues earlier. Here we go. Cool. So, we already talked about you're probably missing one of these 5 things. But what I want you guys to start to see is that you're really not that far away. You're likely only 1 or 2 bricks away from where you want to get to, right? So Prison Island is where you're at right now. Maybe you're in a job that you hate. Maybe your finances aren't right. Maybe you're just not living up to your potential. You're not fulfilled with your work. Your location's stuck. You're having to go into work. You're driving on the road all the time. You want to get to Paradise Island, right? Which is whatever that profile is that we just talked about for you. Retire your mom and dad, work remote, hit 6 figures, travel to Bali, right? Say hi to Nina. This is what you need to do. You're trying to build a bridge from Prison Island to Paradise Island, right? And each one of these things that we just talked about, these are like bricks in the bridge to get over that path, right? Say there's a river going down through here, a brown river, which is sketchy. Never jump in a brown river. But you're trying to put these bricks across. And you're only 1 or 2 bricks away, right? So you may already have half of these bricks ready, right? Maybe you have the skill set, maybe you have the mindset, you have the clarity, but you're missing the opportunity, right? But what I want you guys to be getting from this is like the number that you have in your head, the life that you want that to bring you is not that crazy, right? Because if you think it's crazy, it's like, oh, it's this far out thing. No, it's not this far out thing. It's not this crazy thing. It's a thing that 29 million other people in the United States are doing right now. Why can't it be you? So that's what we need to start to see. And then we just need to break it down. Cool. What are the things that I need to get there? Mentor, opportunity, skill set, mindset, clarity. Maybe this is you right now. You already have these 3 bricks. All you need is boom. You need 1 or 2 other bricks in that bridge. Is this tracking with anybody? Does this get you guys excited? If you guys are excited to go into 2025, drop 2025 in the chat. If you guys get this, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So one of the things I want to just clear up, because a lot of people get caught up in this, they see stuff on Instagram or wherever, and they are, getting misled by this. So I want to just give you guys a forewarning about this, so you guys don't get caught up on it too. And the lie is that so many people believe and that people preach out there is that, the average millionaire has 7 income streams, right? Your average millionaire has 7 income streams. Well, that's not really true. What's really true is that your average millionaire built one big income stream, and then they diversified and invested. But what people think is that, oh, I need to go and start all these businesses. I need to go and do all these side hustles in order for me to get to the financial freedom that I want. But the reality is they just had one good opportunity, one good skill set, and then they leveraged that, and then they diversified and invested. So you just need one good opportunity. The best route that I found, and what I myself personally, the route that I took and what a lot of other successful people recommend is like the sales path, right? Using the sales entrepreneur strategy in remote sales to build 6-figure freedom, right? These are some key reasons why I love it. 2025, Deanna. I don't know if it was delayed there. I'm only getting some of these now. Dana, Marcus, love it. You guys are pumped up. You guys are going to crush it this year. I can already feel it. These are some of the key reasons why I like going the remote sales route and doing sales. Number one, it's approachable barrier to entry. So many other things, like if you want to get to six figures in like the old school world, you have to like get a college degree, you have to go become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, all that crap. And there's so much stuff, it takes forever. And it's like there's just so many barriers to entry, right? So in the sales entrepreneur space, in the remote sales space, if you have the skills, if you can build the skills, you don't need a certification, you don't need a special paper that says you can do it. Like you just have to build the skill. That's straightforward. The skills you will learn doing sales apply to almost everything. So this will apply to your home life, to being a better parent, to being a better, person in a relationship, to getting promotions at work. Every area in life falls down to the fundamental skill of communication and a lot of times persuasion. Not even always persuasion, but almost always communication. Number three, we talked about you're trading value for money versus time for money, which gives you control of your higher compensation. Obviously, being remote, you have that like lifestyle flexibility. And number four, for me, like I always knew that I wanted to go into business and investing, long term to build financial freedom. You have way more and way better growth paths as a remote sales entrepreneur than really anything else. A lot of times, your successful business people and your top executives at companies all started in sales, and you have people like Ty Lopez and even Elon Musk and Mark Cuban. Some of the most successful people talk about like this is where I would start if they were starting out. So, side note: if you already have a remote sales role, if you're watching this but you're not at six figures yet, it's either just one or two of these things. Either your opportunity isn't good enough, or you're not good enough yet. And there's no shame in that, right? If we just need to level up your skills, that's totally cool. That's totally fine. And we can fix that, right? If you have the humility to take responsibility for what needs fixed. But like, it's really simple. It's one of those two things. Cool. Guys, again, just going back to this, you're only 1 or 2 bricks away. What is it for you? And how committed are you to doing whatever it takes to make it happen? 6 figures is stupid simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get scared of it. Don't get all in your head about it. Just because you didn't grow up and around an environment where people were making lots of money doesn't mean that it's not happening. You just need to expose yourself to new ideas, to new concepts, to new people that are doing what you want to do, and then it all becomes super manageable. So this is the other visual. If this is helpful for you guys, then maybe this example is better for you. Cool. Awesome, guys.